Hi guys, it's Andrea with the Codex Club, and I'm checking in because it's a Friday feeling type of video. This time I actually did have some questions that I wanted to answer. Basically, I have been asked a few times like how to properly set up a business as far as whether people should be an LLC, how to get an EIN number, and sort of the initial setup. Apart from your creative idea and all the things that you want to do with your business, there is some paperwork that is going to really help you out long term. And so, without knowing your specific idea and what you're doing, I wanted to share my path and my learnings as far as how I set up my small business and the advice I can give on how to do that. So, the first thing that you want to do is get a logo. There's 99 designs that can have a bunch of different designers pitch for logos and branding materials around your idea. I can leave a link to that. But I think it's a really great way to see what other people can do for you for not that much. And I see so much value in how you look, how you present yourself to others to win your first couple clients. In addition to your look and your feel, you should have a website, even if you're primarily a brick and mortar, not an online store. Have a website. Get Google Analytics, get your ID and track who's coming and how to make it easier. Look at competitors and or inspiration. You know, you want to do comparative analysis and make sure that you're answering the same questions that audiences who are interested in your product and your niche are going to want answers to. Okay, that said, your EIN number is pretty easy to get. You want to go to irs.gov. I'll leave that link in the description below as well. It's so important because anytime you see a vendor you like and want to set up an account with them, they're going to ask you for your number. If you end up doing government work, which I do, they'll want to know your EIN number. And you can get a lawyer to help you if you need it, but I don't think it's worth the hassle. And within that number, you should also get a state ID and a resale certificate. I haven't had coffee yet, so sorry if I'm like rambling, but a state ID you can leave in your brick and mortar store in a place of prominence. If you go to like a wholesale show and you're like, oh, I love, if you do clothing, bring your resale certificate. It's a nice way for people in your local area to know that you are trusted and that you've been checked out as a business. And underneath that tier, so you have federal, you have your state, and then you have what are known as small business codes. So if you're like a woman-owned or minority-owned business, oftentimes larger companies will set aside budget to work specifically with those groups. And it can be a really great way to learn from those larger companies. They're called prime contractors, subcontractors. Anyway, we can do a deeper dive into any of these things if you want. I'm just talking informally. But if you're a veteran, if you're a woman, if you're a minority, there are incentives for you and your small business, and you should check them out for sure. In Maryland, where I am, I could register through Maryland Department of Transportation or the city of Baltimore. And I'm sure wherever you live, there's a similar type of process. It can take a while. There's a lot of paperwork, but it's once it comes through and is just going to help you. So I keep a list of all those numbers, my EIN, my state ID, my small business certificate number, that MDOT number, and my Google Analytics right here in my little tab on my desktop. You can also apply for a trademark and a service mark with the US Patent and Trademark Office. Eventually, you're going to want to protect that logo and your name, and that's the best way to do it. Amazon requires it if you want to open a storefront, and so it's better to start that process sooner than later. In addition to having your email, and you can register for one on Gmail, just get your business name at gmail.com to start if you don't want to pay. In addition to your website, your email, your phone number, some people will ask for a fax number, and that's such a small little detail, but some companies are traditionalists, especially government ones. So if you need one, you can go to efax.com, register for a free trial. I'll leave that link below too. And you can receive their faxes through your email inbox. It's a new way to work with an old platform, but that way you'll just have it. So those ways of contacting you are really important to have. Any more numbers things that I can think of quickly are your spreadsheet. So I met with a financial counselor when I first started my business and made budget spreadsheets, not just for my financial spreadsheet eventually, which people are going to want to see if you want funding, if you want investors, and it should go with your business plan. But I personally like having a budget spreadsheet for me that I can flow into my financial spreadsheet, because I'm able to see the sales that are coming in every month, and I list all the days on the top so you can see the timeline, and I list all the clients and projects on the side. What I do is pretty specific. We offer some custom digital and print things. We have some design clients and things from the sales from the site. So all of that tiles down, and it's just really easy to read. I'm not a numbers person, so I need that. And it's been kind of tough going through the process of finding out, oh, this person wants that number. Wait, should I register now? Or are you going to be left waiting? So I wanted to give that upfront help to anybody who's trying to start their small business now. I think later on, if you hire other people, they're going to want to just feel as secure as possible, and you can give them advice about whether or not they should be an LLC. If you're not at that point where you have HR and they are like a freelancer essentially, or a contractor, they might want to register for an EIN number and just put it in their TurboTax so they can deduct things. So I want you guys to be knowledge keepers and just feel good about your goals. And so I really hope that this helps, and that this is one of the richer Friday Feeling videos that I'm starting to put out. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments, subscribe, like. I want to hear from other people who have their own online stores, who want to start their own business, and who are curious about, the Codex Club too. I also got a follow-up question about the name, so I'm just gonna the idea of old books. So Codex is like an old book, and Club is because I wanted to work with other creative people, and I think that just mission of being able to preserve memories, and as a designer for the last 10 years before opening the business, I really valued the look of things and adding value to words and pictures. Life is what we can remember, right? So I want to do that personally. I want the business to be that way. And I would recommend, if you guys are looking for a business name, to find something that is personal to you. Some people have recommended to me to use 3 syllables, or to make something that becomes an acronym really easily. So I'm just going to pass that on. All right, take care, and I will talk to you next week.